Okay, we are to page 3 of our solving equations quiz review, and this is probably our most complicated questions because you can see there's parentheses in all of them. There are multiple things on both sides of the equation, so there's a lot of solving to do. All right, so if you see an equation like this and there are parentheses, no matter what, the first thing that we need to do is distribute to get rid of those parentheses. Okay, so we're going to start with that, remembering that there is a 1 really in front of this x. So we're going to multiply. -3 times 1 is -3. Bring down that x with it, -3x. -3 times +3 should give us a -9. Now, we want to bring everything else that doesn't have parentheses down so that we can kind of determine what's got to go and what can stay. So we're going to bring everything else down. Okay, if I look at this right away, I can see it is way too long. I can also see that there are variables on both sides of the equation. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the right side of the equation, and these are on the same side, so I'm going to add the like terms. So I'm going to do -3x minus 4x first. So -3 minus 4 more is -7x. Bring down -9. Okay, now on this side, I have -7x minus 9. Okay, now these are the same on both sides, which should give you a clue that it's going to be one of those weird answers like infinite solutions or no solutions. The way you can figure out which one it is if you don't know is you continue to solve it. So you have a variable on both sides. We need to cancel one of them. So if I add 7x here, I'm going to add 7x here. So I'm canceling this one, let's say. This one then also could cancel, or I could make it 0x minus 9 equal -9. If I keep solving and I add 9 and add 9, that's the one I cancel. I end up with 0x technically equal 0, which means 0 times the number equals 0. So every time we multiply something by 0, it always equals 0. So this means that x could be any number in the world and it will work. So this answer is infinite solutions. That's the symbol, okay? Infinite solutions. That means it can be anything. All right, and again, our key here is that way back here, when we ended up with the same thing on both sides of the equation, we could have stopped there and known that it was infinite solutions because we had the same thing on both sides. If we weren't sure and we kept solving, we're looking for a 0 on both sides of our equation in the end, okay? All right, let's do the next one. So the next one, again, we have parentheses on both sides. We know there's hiding ones on both of these. We have to get rid of both. So 2 times 1x is 2x. 2 times 7, positive 7, is going to give us positive 14, equals, all right, now we have to do it on this side. The 4 is not part of distribution because it's not right next to the parentheses. However, this -2, we're going to multiply -2 times 1x and get -2x. And we're going to do -2 times -5 and get positive 10. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms, way too many, and we have variables on both sides of the equal sign. Okay, so let's start by canceling a variable. So I'm going to add 2x here. That's the one I want to cancel. And I'll add 2x over here. This one cancels because it's a negative and a positive. This one is 2 plus 2, which is 4x. Plus 14. Now, if I cancel those, take a look. Can I do 4 plus 10 and put that together? Yes, I can. And that would give me 14 on this side. All right, keep solving, right? So now I have 1, 2, 3 terms. So I'm going to undo stuff. So I'm going to subtract 14 here and subtract 14 here. Okay, again, this looks funny, right? This was the one I'm canceling. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to write it up here. But I have 4x now. 14 minus 14 equals 0. Notice the difference. This one had zeros on both sides. This one only has 0 over on the right side. So if I divide that 4 out, that cancels. 0 divided by 4 is just plain 0. That is the solution to this one. If I do that in a calculator, I can see that 0 divided by 4 gives me 0. When I do 0 divide, or if I were to do it the other way, and the 0 was at the bottom, I would get an error, and that would be no solution. There's a big difference. Okay, last one. Woo! Lots of work today. But our last one is here. So again, 2 sets of parentheses, so we have to distribute. 14 times 1x is 14x. 14 times 8, you're going to either have to use your calculator or do it out the long way if you don't know it. And it tells us it's 112. Okay, equals, now we have to do our parentheses on this side. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 7 is going to give us negative 28. And plus 10x comes down. Okay, again, way too many terms going on. So that shows us we have to add like terms or cancel out. So I'm going to start. There's only 1x on this side and a number. That's okay. Over here, though, there is a 4x and a 10x. Let's put that together. 4x plus 10x is actually 14x minus 28. Now, bring that down, equals 14x plus 112. Okay, we still have too many terms, but now we have an x on both sides, which indicates I need to cancel one of them out. I'm going to choose to cancel the one on the right, so that crosses out. And the one on the left, I'm going to add together. So 14x minus 14x is 0x plus 112 equals, now I bring down negative 28. Again, we have that 0, so we know something weird's about to happen, but I want to continue my process here, okay? So I'm going to subtract the 112 from both sides. So I'm going to end up with 0x equals now negative 140. Okay, again, this looks similar. Up here, we had a 0 and a 0. Here, we had a 4x equals 0, right? That was a 4x equals 0, and 0 was over here. Now we have a 0x equal negative 140. So the 0 is next to the x. The other side's a number. So technically what we would do is divide each side by 0. But we just saw that when we divide by 0, negative 140 divided by 0, we cannot do that. We get an error. So this is no solution. This has no solution, and the symbol for that would be a 0 with a line through it. Okay, hopefully that helps. Study this, write a cheat sheet from this, and be ready to rock that quiz tomorrow. Okay, have a good day, everybody.